Hi friends, this is Audi1 and you're watching part 21st of the sqli lab series. For those who are watching this for the first time or are new to SQL injections, it is strongly recommended that you go back and watch the other part of the series. I will be using the knowledge gained in the other parts to demonstrate some examples in this one and even in the coming lessons. With today's lesson, we'll start to explore the world of bypassing WAFs or web application firewalls. When I was thinking of these modules, the most difficult question that came to me was how to demonstrate this and how to actually put a practical example in the sqli test bed. To do so, we introduced TOMCAT server in our test bed, and this TOMCAT server is configured with some Java server pages. So these Java server pages act as a firewall for us. Let me explain. Imagine this as the TOMCAT server. So this will act as a WAF for us and would be running the JSP pages on it. The client would be connecting to this server. This server will process its rules and stuff, what all, and if the query passes, we'll send the response to the backend server. That is our old Apache running the PHP test bed. This server will respond back, and this TOMCAT is going to send that response back to the client. This would be the normal construction. To set this up, we need to do certain things. First and foremost, we need to install TOMCAT, configure it, and configure our test environment on it and see everything is working. So let's start. For this purpose, we need three components. One is the MySQL JDBC connector that you can download from the MySQL website. You need to create an account, which is free to create, and you just need to download this connector. Download the zip file. I have already downloaded that. Apart from that, you also need to download the TOMCAT server from the TOMCAT website. You can download the latest version, TOMCAT 7, and we need Java JDK. And you can download the Java Platform JDK 7U9. So I have already downloaded all three of them and put them on the desktop. Let's just configure this and make it work. Let's just unzip all of them. tar xzvf jdk and let's also do it for Apache. tar xzvf Apache. For the MySQL, let's also unzip MySQL. So we unzipped all of them. From MySQL connector, we just need this MySQL connector java bin.jar. Let's take this and copy this in the library sorry, it should be in the Java runtime environment, library, external path. Here, let's do it. Let me run browser as root, because I unzipped all the packages as root. So let's go to file system, let's go to where they are. Desktop and MySQL connector. Let me copy this and let me go back and let me open JDK, JRE, library and external and paste it. I missed the paste. No problems, we can do it one more time. Let's go back to the desktop. Let's go to MySQL connector, Control C, and let me go back. JDK, JRE, library, extension, and there you go. Now we need to just place this appropriately. We can move this JRE or this complete JDK, Control X, file system. Let's place this under user. Share, and it is placed. Let's do the same for Apache Tomcat. Control X, or rather than let's use the root folder. Let's go back and let's go to the home. Let's copy the Apache Tomcat, Control X, file system, and I'll place it under var lib, and let's place it here. It's not mandatory to place all these files in the locations I'm mentioning. You can even run them from the desktop. Let's open up our terminal window. And now let's configure the environment. By default, Tomcat server can run on the open JDK that comes bundled with the Backtrack installation. But just for the sake, we are going to use Sun Java. Let's configure the environment. First, we have to configure Java to be in the path. So let's say path equals /user/share/jdk/bin. Bin is the folder which contains all the executables for Java, and let's put a colon and let's append our old path as it is to this one, and let's export this path, the new one, and let's call the variable path to check if it has updated. And you see this is the in the path, our JDK 1.7. Now if you want to make this change persistent, you can add these 3 lines, or not 3 but just the first 2 lines to bash rc. That's a file that you can find in the profile of the user. Else you can also create a file with the name .bashrc and place these 2 lines inside. Once this is done, now we just need to go to the location where we have put our Tomcat. cd/var/lib/apache, and let's go to the bin folder, and we have the scripts. Let's choose the startup script. It displays some variables on the screen. That's okay. And let's check if it's working. Net stat -antp and grep for port 8080. That's the default port on which Tomcat listens. So it's working. Let's open up the browser. Let's localhost :8080. If you see this page, that means Tomcat is installed successfully and will work. A word of caution: this setup of Tomcat is not done keeping security in mind. This is a bare minimum setup done for the test labs and is highly insecure because it's running as root. Please do not use this to configure your production environments. Coming back, now let's go to our sqli lab, where we have placed our sqli lab files, cd/var/sqli-labs. If you have synced this folder with GitHub or installed the fresh one, you have this file called tomcatfiles.zip. This contains all our JSP files. So let's copy this. Copy cp tomcat files.zip to /var/lib/apache/web apps. This is a folder inside Tomcat, and root. We move or copy this Tomcat files there. Let's go there back /var/lib/apache/webapps/root, and we say unzip tomcat-files.zip. So it creates sqli labs folder inside. Let's check that out. Under web apps, under root, there's a sqli labs folder. If you see, there are lesson 29, lesson 30 and lesson 31. These three lessons are identical and would be used for this lesson, and lesson 32 is a sample lesson that we built up just to demonstrate the same functionality, how our PHP pages were working to how the JSP works. Let's test it. So let's /sqli-labs -less 29. It says unable to connect to database security. That means there is something wrong with our MySQL server. Okay, let's go back and check, is it even listening? Netstat -antp grep 3306, and it's not. So let's start it up. Start MySQL, and let's check, and it's listening now. And let's come back to the page, and everything works. Before we continue, I would like to thank Interference, who helped me in scribbling this page. As I was short on time, so he helped me with the idea of the code behind the page. Also, before we continue with this module further, I would recommend you to read a presentation of OWASP given by Luca and Stefano. A very good presentation on HTTP parameter pollution, also sometimes called the HPP. And another good work done by Ivan Ristek. Protocol level evasion of web application firewalls. His white paper and his presentation on the subject is really awesome. Kudos to these guys for sharing all their work. So once everything is set up, we can continue to test the labs. Let's check if everything is working as intended. Let's provide an ID equals 1 and it works fine. We see the first value from the database, ID equals 2. It's also working as intended. Same way we can work with lesson 30. And same way we can come back and look at lesson 32, which looks identical to our initial lessons. ID equals 1 and it works. Well, this is all for now for this video. We'll take up the remaining part in the next video. Bye for now. Thank you very much.